trying to navigate the complex world of entitlements, income, resources, and we've got several things that we needed to consider within our family unit, and to try and tie it all together and get some kind of sense that would lead us to a pathway forward was beyond us, really. And fortunately we came across Christian, and bit by bit we started to untangle some of the things, and he got his head around it quite well, and showed us there was a positive way forward that was certainly in our joint interest and our family interests, and it's been a very good association. I don't think there was any obstacles. Fortunately, we knew Christian before he formed BFF, or that started. So
he was involved, yeah.
We followed. We came with him because we trusted him.
Mm-hmm.
We were inspired by his approach to things. He's very, very personable. No obstacles.
Not at all.
No. He's a nice guy from day one, and he was a good listener, and I was quite impressed that he could get his head around what to me was a reasonably complex set of situations that had to be considered and untangled, and so we could move forward.
And I think we're pretty open-minded too, because as you said, we did have something all along, but I think we were just so busy living life and doing what we were doing. We had a little bit of advice early on when we first got married. Unfortunately, we didn't do more than we did in those early years, and we kind of got talked out of a few things through the years too. My father was a bank manager, and he was very conservative, and there were a couple of times where we wanted to buy an investment unit or, invest a little, and we got talked out of it a few times, didn't we, as a family? I think he felt that he was doing us a favour, not getting overcommitted, but looking back, it's a bit unfortunate that we didn't do.
He was ultra conservative, and I can understand why. But you look back and there's lessons to be learned, and that was.
He always believed in a sinking fund, that you should put money away for important things that happen or need repair down the track.
And replacement,
which absolutely is true.
Which is true, yeah.
But, we could have just bitten off a little bit more than we did. I think we were just a little bit more game than our parents were. Our parents were happy with what they had, but like most people, especially today, everybody wants more or to better where they're at or what they want to do. We want a bigger house than our parents did, and we wanted more of the modern things, like my mum and my mother-in-law were happy with a twin washing machine.
Twin tub, yeah.
Yeah, whereas we wanted a new top loader.
Yeah, that's a simple thing, yeah.
So,
So you basically want at least what your parents had, but maybe the next generation of thinking which goes with that. And I don't quite think I had conservative parents, yes, but they're quite really good thinkers. Whereas Vic's parents were lovely people, but because of his banking background, ultra conservative, which affected other things as well.
Mm-hmm. But also, little things like your mum, it took her a long time to getting around to having a microwave or air conditioning in the car. They were happy with what they had.
Yeah. And so we've been brought up to be, happy with what we've got, but that you can look further afield. And my own experience, I had very good friends who were the same age as me, who never had the same kind of mental constraints, Peter for instance, at the same age on things financial that I did. And he always used to be able to do things on the same kind of income that I had, and I never really knew how he did it, and whether he went into debt or he had other forms of raising money, I don't know. Of course, we were talking about legal things. And so that's always been in the back of my mind. There's always been my friend, my guiding light in a sense was my mate Peter. And do you remember he always had the best of everything, and he could travel, and yet he was the same person as me. Admittedly, he had a family business, and that was the key. It was being attached to business. And that's what I see with Christian. He's got a good link with a business ethic and been in the industry such a long time. He's got a very good grasp of what's possible, way beyond our thinking, which is really useful. We can use that. We're at the time of our life where we're willing and able to use someone who's got the skills we don't possess. He's a good listener, which I would put right up there. And so he doesn't try to direct us. I mean, he obviously has an agenda for his own business. That's why he's in business. We understand that. But his agenda doesn't seem to conflict with ours. So he brings a lot of knowledge about what's relevant and what's new and what's possible and what's not possible to our situation, and that's exactly what we need. So he's a good listener. He's up to date on what's happening in the marketplace, in the industry. He has proved that he has our best interest at heart, because certain things we've already followed have generated the results that were promised and were desirable in our case, not only for us but our extended family as well. The benefit is that I think he's up to date, he's flexible, he seems to have a very good skill and be able to get his head around quite a complex set of situations that are very specific and very personal to us, and which he makes it seems like he hasn't got any other customers. I don't know how. It would take all my time to just think about us, let alone any other clients.
We seem to take all his time.
We seem to monopolise his time, but which is a good skill. I mean, I'm sure he has other, but how he does it, I don't know. So when he's talking to us, he's actually talking to us. There's not other things that we get a hint of that are looming in the back of his mind. So when he's talking to us, I get the impression that we are the focus of his attention at that moment, and we are his priority, which is highly desirable, because I don't know how he does it, but it's really, really admirable that he can condense and remember from meeting to meeting what we've discussed.
We have had a policy, but in the early days, up until we kind of met Christian, we never had any feedback or suggestions or input, did we?
No.
It was like we were paying into this policy, but we never saw any benefit from it. Like, it was never suggested that we could invest in something or grow more than just putting money away.
That's a good point, because before we were doing what we thought was the proactive thing by investing or by having a policy. But Christian comes up with ideas and suggestions based on our lifestyle and our lifestyle preferences. So that's very, very handy, because he introduces things that we may not have thought about, which I think is a good thing.
And that initial policy we had, had some guy's name on it, and then someone took over, and then someone took over.
Yes.
And then I think finally Christian took over, and ever since Christian's taken over, he's kind of looked after us and looked out for us and helped us. Maybe it's because we needed him at that time and we were more open, but just by us being open at a point where we really need help and guidance, he's there for us. Give him full points as to someone they could trust and someone worth listening to.
And I think he'll tell it how it is. I think he will, as they say, not gild the lily. He'll be realistic in what he explains and what you can expect. And if he doesn't know, he will find out. If you have questions, he'll find out for you. So he seems to have a very good team of advisors and contacts that will be to your advantage.
Yeah. He's got a team of advisors, obviously, but he's also interested in a lot of things, like, just talking about the TED Talks now. And
No, I just think for us, other than the Christian coming into our lives at this point, has been a very positive thing. He's a good listener. He got apparently good advice. It's worked for us so far, and we look forward to a future of more positive decisions working together.
It's nice that he's shared a bit about himself too. We know a little bit about him and what he likes.
Yeah, and
how he likes to holiday and enjoy life. So,
and he has socialised with us too.
Yeah.
When we come in,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So we've enjoyed that.